You know that 90% of the English you learn in a textbook is completely useless when you are just trying to talk about your messy morning routine? Seriously, if you want to sound like a real human and not a walking dictionary, you have to learn the actual words native speakers use when they are just waking up and getting ready for the day. Here are the 10 questions and answers we are going to unlock today to instantly level up your vocabulary. Question 1. What do you say when something is physically driving you crazy? Answer: it irritates me. Question 2. What is that automatic gut feeling you get? Answer: instinct. Question 3. How do you describe liquid falling down your face? Answer: drip down. Question 4. How do you emphasize that something completely changed the game for you? Answer: it makes an awful lot of a difference. Question 5. How do you hide your tired eyes or a big mistake? Answer: cover up. Question 6. What do you call that one product you keep buying over and over? Answer: go back to. Question 7. What is the gross word for bad, sticky mascara? Answer: clumpy. Question 8. How do you describe your chaotic bedhead hair? Answer: scraggly. Question 9. What do you say when you give up on fixing something and just accept it? Answer: leave it like this. Question 10. How do you stay positive when life is a mess? Answer: at least I have. Alright, let's jump right into the deep dive so you can master these. Question 1. Answer: to irritate. When we talk about the word irritate, we are talking about a feeling that is super annoying, and we use it in two different ways. First, there is the physical way. Think about wearing daily contact lenses. Sometimes, if you wear them too long, they get dry and they just irritate your eyes. It is that scratchy, uncomfortable feeling that literally drives you crazy. But millennials and Gen Z use this word way more often to talk about our emotions. For example, if your coworker won't stop bragging about how cool their last job was, you might tell your best friend, "It honestly irritates me so much when he talks like that." It means it is getting on your nerves. For pronunciation, put all the stress on that first part, irritate. Master this, and you will instantly sound way more natural when you are venting about your day. Question 2. Answer: instinct. An instinct is a natural reaction that you do not even have to think about. When you are putting a contact lens into your eye, your instinct is to blink. Your brain is screaming at you that an object is coming toward your eyeball, so you automatically want to shut it. You have to fight your own instinct just to keep your eye open. Normally, we think of animals having instincts, like birds flying south, but humans rely on them all the time. Have you ever gone to a job interview or met someone new and the vibes were just totally off? You couldn't explain it, but you just knew something was wrong. That is when your friends will tell you to trust your instinct. Sometimes we say, trust your gut. It means you should listen to your inner voice because it is usually right. Question 3. Answer: to drip down. This is a super common phrasal verb that means a liquid is slowly falling down a surface. Picture this: you are washing your face or putting in contact solution, and you use a little too much. Suddenly, the liquid drips down your face and ruins your skincare routine. It is such a simple way to describe a very specific action. You wouldn't say the water is falling on my face, you say it drips down my face. We also use this to talk about the weather. If you are sitting in coffee shop, sipping a latte and looking out the window, you might watch the rain drip down the glass. It is a super cozy aesthetic. To pronounce it naturally, connect the words together so it sounds like one smooth motion. Drip down. Question 4. Answer: to make an awful lot of a difference. You probably already know the phrase "to make a difference," which just means to change something. But if you want to sound like a native speaker, you throw an awful lot of a right in the middle to be dramatic. We love being dramatic. Let's say you buy a super expensive eye cream to fix your dark circles. You might look in the mirror and say, "Honestly, I don't know if this makes an awful lot of a difference, but I'm doing it for me." It means you are doubting if it really works that well. On the flip side, you can use it for something super positive. You could say having a supportive boss makes an awful lot of a difference in your stress levels. If you want an everyday English conversation practice routine that actually works, mastering dramatic phrases like this makes an awful lot of a difference. Question 5. Answer: to cover up. This phrasal verb is all about hiding things, physically and emotionally. When you wake up looking super tired, what do? You grab your concealer and you put it under your eyes to cover up those dark bags. You are physically hiding the fact that you only slept 4 hours last night. But we also use this in a more sneaky way. Let's say you accidentally back your mom's car into a mailbox and leave a huge scratch. When she comes outside, you might stand perfectly in front of the scratch to cover up your mistake and quickly change the subject to distract her. It means you are trying to hide the evidence. It is a total survival word. Question 6. Answer. To go back to. This is exactly how we talk about our absolute favorite, holy grail things in life. When you say you always go back to something, it means you have tried a bunch of other options, but none of them were as good as the original. For example, maybe you bought a really fancy, overpriced mascara from Sephora, but it was terrible. So, you end up using that $5 drugstore mascara because it just works perfectly. You would say, I've tried the expensive stuff, but this cheap one is what I always go back to. You can also use it for places. If your family tries going to a new beach every summer but hates it, you might say, we always go back to that tiny beach town we love. This is why you learn English through daily life examples, because you will always go back to these core phrases when you are talking with your friends. Question 7. Answer. Clumpy. This is such a fun, descriptive vocabulary word. When something is clumpy, it means it is sticking together in gross little chunks instead of being smooth. It is the ultimate nightmare for your makeup routine. When you are putting on mascara, you want your eyelashes to look long and separated. If your mascara is old, it gets clumpy, and your eyelashes stick together looking like weird spider legs. It is the worst vibe ever. But clumpy isn't always a bad word. Think about food. When you are eating Thanksgiving dinner, some people actually love it when the mashed potatoes are a little bit clumpy. It means there are still real potato pieces in there, so it feels homemade instead of coming from a weird powdery box. Question 8. Answer. Scraggly. Scraggly is one of those words that sounds exactly like what it means. It is the perfect adjective for anything that looks messy, rough, and completely unorganized. Think about second-day hair. When you sleep with your hair in braids and wake up the next morning, your hair is usually all over the place. It looks a little scraggly. You are on the struggle bus trying to make it look presentable. We use it for our physical appearance when we are just running errands in sweatpants and definitely do not have that main character energy. But you can also use it for objects. If you see a weird, dying tree in your neighborhood with broken branches everywhere, you would call it a scraggly tree. It just means it looks like a mess. Question 9. Answer. To leave it like this. This phrase is all about making a choice to just stop trying and accept things the way they are. We use the word leave here, but it has absolutely nothing to do with walking out the front door. It means to let something stay in its current state. If you are brushing out your messy hair and it finally looks kind of decent, you might drop the brush and say, you know what, I'm just going to leave it like this. It means you are not touching it anymore. You can use this when you are redecorating your bedroom too. You push your bed to a new corner, look at it, and say, let's just leave it like this for a week and see how it feels. It is a super chill, relaxed way to say you are done messing with something. Question 10. Answer. At least I have. This is your ultimate positive mindset phrase. Life gets messy. Sometimes you wake up late, your outfit looks terrible, and your hair is totally scraggly. But you put on your favorite pair of dangly earrings. Those are the long ones that hang down loosely and catch the light, and you look in the mirror and say, well, my outfit is a disaster, but at least I have my favorite dangly earrings on. You use at least I have to pivot from a negative situation and find the one good thing that is keeping you sane. If you bomb a test at school, you might say, I failed the math test, but at least I have an A in history. It is the best conversational tool for romanticizing your life when things go wrong. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and learning how to actually speak like a real person. If you loved leveling up your vocabulary today, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a lesson. Keep practicing these phrases in your daily routines and remember to learn English with Jennifer. I will see you in the next one.